We are on live. This is our very first Facebook Live for Reshape. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And there's a phone ringing. Isn't that great? That's what happens when you're doing a live show. So you guys, first of all, thank you so much for being patient with us. We were running a little late this morning. It is pouring down rain in Los Angeles. The streets are flooded, but we made it here safely. So just please excuse us for being a few minutes late. But we're here, so we're very, very excited. Now, I am beyond thrilled to welcome my soul sister, Andrea Abenoza-Filardi of Holistically Loved, and a really amazing site that's everything health, wellness, nutrition for mom, baby, and child. You know, she's a holistic health practitioner. She's a certified childbirth educator. She's a certified doula, and really one of the healthiest people I know. And I have to say, the reason I call her my soul sister is because every time we are out in public, people always say, "Are you guys sisters?"
Yeah.
And then when we look at each other, we're like, "No, we're like really
Totally
soul
sisters."
sisters."
Yeah.
I met her, I moved into a new neighborhood, and I met her shortly after. And she and I just really connected, you know, at a definitely a deeper soul level, right? So I am so grateful to have her in my life. And I'm so grateful to actually share her with you. So I have to let you guys know, last night, I didn't think she was going to be here today, so I'm really happy you're actually here sitting on the side of me, because you delivered a baby yesterday.
Yeah, a healthy baby boy, 8 pounds, 1 ounce.
Oh my gosh, how did it go?
It was amazing. And so as you know, I am recovering from a concussion.
Yes.
And the reason it was amazing was, one, I love doing this. Like, it's all about taking care of somebody else and not thinking about myself. That's how I always approached it.
Right.
But I have learned so much from having, one, a concussion, and two, going into this, knowing that I had to take care of myself so that I could take care of this mom and this baby.
Yeah.
So I was very nervous going into it, but it was funny because I knew all the things that I needed. One, I love it dark, right? So I had the room dark, and then I knew what essential oils that helped me, which essentially was, it was going to help the mom.
Of course, at the same time.
Lavender to relax, frankincense for pain, peppermint to give you a little bit like a boost.
A little boost.
So every time I would do something for her, I was like, oh, for me. One for her, one for me. And so it was like I got to really take care of myself, but really take care of her.
First of all, that's like a huge lesson.
Huge.
And I just want to let you guys know, this has been a really traumatic experience for you, and you've been recovering for over
almost 3 months.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that we should really take a concussion this seriously, and how much it actually affects our brain.
Yeah.
But you're such a good patient, I have to say, and you've done absolutely everything. I mean, you have to show them your pink glasses, which she may put on, but this is also to help her with the light, right? Your light sensitivity.
I'm totally light sensitive, and so my doctors had me test out different shades of, you know, lenses. And of course I had to have really cool looking ones. So I got like designer sunglasses and had them put these in. And it makes such a difference.
So she's not being Hollywood. She's really protecting her brain right now. You can leave them on.
I don't need them yet.
Okay, but she might put them on, so just a little FYI, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But I want to just go back to the lesson that you learned. You know, we talk about taking care of ourselves. Like for me, taking care of myself is, I find a moment in the day where there's no children, no husband, where I can find like a quiet moment. Yeah. You had to learn, because of your situation, to take care of yourself in the midst of a really intense emotion. I mean, you were bringing a child into this world. I would have you know, definitely not paid attention to me or what I needed, but you were able to do that in that really intense moment, but care for yourself at the same time. I think that's just something for all of us to take away, especially with the holidays coming, because
it's hectic.
It's hectic, it's crazy, it's kids, it's family, it's cooking, it's absolutely
a lot
everything.
Of sugar. Yeah. You're exhausted, a lot of alcohol. Do you know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the year, it's like go, 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 right? And by the way, our lives are go, 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 go every single day, right?
Relate to that.
But we're adding the parties, we're adding the gift, you know, the buying the gifts and wrapping the gifts.
The extra activities and all of it.
Right. So it's like taking small moments, and this is what I've learned. The gift from my concussion has been to become very aware of my body.
Yeah.
Sensations in my body. I get headaches. So before I get a full-blown headache, I'm like, oh, you know, it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
So what can I do in this moment to alleviate it so it doesn't get out of control?
Yeah.
So in terms of the holidays and all the overwhelm that happens, because I know people are so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's like, take that moment to like just go, oh, I can take 3 deep breaths, right? And even think, and this is what I do, like I breathe in, breathe out. It's simple. Like we can just do it here, or whatever you want to think, peace, love, whatever. And you can be in the midst of buying your toys for your kids or whatever it is in the hectic world, and just breathe while you're doing it, and it'll make such a difference.
Yeah, finding those moments. I mean, you really are, I have to say, you've always been really in touch with your body and how you're feeling. And you always tell myself and my kids, like, listen to your body. And at first I was like, what does that even mean?
Right.
And how do you do that? Like, what does that mean to listen to your body? Is it like a check-in? Is it a thought? Is it a feeling? Like what? Because I don't think we do that on a whole, right?
We're actually taught at a young age, like, to stop listening to our bodies, right? So if we're a kid, like, oh, I'm full, I don't want to eat anymore. Your parents like, finish your plate.
Right.
You're not full. So like right away, we're taught, okay, ignore, right? And we get really good at ignoring our feelings and our body talk. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing that I explain to couples that I work with, like, go in when you get into bed, lay down, and just check in, like, oh, how's my head? Is it tight? Am I scrunching my eyes? Yes. I mean, like, a lot of people do that and they don't even realize it, right? We're holding tension in here, and that's why everybody's getting Botox, including myself.
Well, you actually got it for a headache. She and I had a long conversation about this.
Yeah.
We're both very, very expressive people, as you can see my little lines.
But like, you know, you can be in bed and just go, you know, is my forehead relaxed? How are my shoulders? Are they relaxed? Am I holding tension? See, you're doing it now.
Now that you're saying it, I'm like, okay, lower the shoulders, not up here.
How are you breathing?
I wasn't.
Right, because you're stressed, right? Everybody does that.
I'm stressed because we're late for your favorite line, because I wanted to be there on time.
But they're here and they're learning, and it's all good. So just literally breathing, like, are you breathing into your belly? Actually, most people think you just breathe into your belly and your belly's going out. Actually, you have to breathe from your back and your belly and your sides. I know, because it's a thought process.
I feel it. Okay, but I have to say something going to that. You know, I went to this place, We Care Spa.
Oh, I love it.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a place in Palm Springs. You go there really to detox. You do, I think, an all-liquid diet.
Yeah.
And
you're full.
And wheatgrass and colonics, okay? I used to do it once a year. But I was in this breathing class, and they were explaining to me how to breathe.
Yeah.
I think my entire life had only taken breaths from my chest.
Most people.
Here from my chest. I never had it was like such a revelation for me. I was like, breathe out of my, like, extend, like, we're known to just, you know, you always want to kind of keep your stomach sucked in, hold in your little gut, but to take that deep, full breath out of that belly.
And your back and your side.
See, that's new for me, and the back and the side. That is a full, energizing,
and at first it's going to feel, you're going to feel weird. You're going to be like
dizzy. You'll feel a little lightheaded.
But then your body will get used to it, and then you're really oxygenating your brain, your body, and you're going to feel so much better.
Well, just that in itself is such great, you know,
simple
tips.
Yeah.
For the holidays.
And even like back in the holiday, like, you know, checking in with yourself. It's like, how is the noise affecting you? How are the lights affecting you? How are the kids affecting you? Like, so one of the things I do to calm myself down, Gregorian chant music.
Love it.
I learned it from this amazing chef out in Washington, and I'm blanking on the name of his restaurant, but he's like one of the best in the world. And he invites you back into the kitchen, and he has Gregorian chant music blasting, right? All the chefs are super calm, and I was like, okay, if it works for him, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, we listened to it too.
And we've talked about it.
Yeah, we listened to it too, and we even put it in the car when we're doing long drives for the kids, and it immediately, sort of like calms them down.
It doesn't matter who you are, kids, adults, it's just, that's a simple little trick.
Yeah, I want to also go back to what you're saying, like when you're saying that the noise or the light is affecting you. I always notice, and I know a lot of people are going to be in the malls and shopping for gifts or whatnot over the holidays, or even now we're doing it all in our computer, and that's a lot of blue light. And when you're in the malls and in the shops, it's a really lot of junk light that's happening.
Yeah, the blue light.
I always find myself in certain stores, not all, where the music is really loud, and those lights are like blaring down, and I don't, it's like, you know, I'm not checking in, obviously, but I know that something's totally agitating with me. And as soon as I get out that store, I'm like it was exhausting. It was really exhausting.
It is, because your brain is like processing everything and freaking out, going, oh, I'm overwhelmed, and you don't realize it. Like now, I'm very sensitive to everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I have my pink glasses. Right? Okay, so I gotta tell you something really funny. We went to a parade. We took our kids to a parade.
Just last weekend.
And it was like at night, loud, lights
fire
everywhere.
Trucks, police, helicopters, Santa, flashing lights.
Yeah, so it was a big test for me, but I knew that I had to have my stuff in a row to take care of myself, right? Mm-hmm. So I had, my regular glasses, and I had noise cancellation headset, and I had my frankincense essential oil.
Yes.
And I looked at Allie and I go, okay, I'm getting signs, and I put all my stuff on, and I was like, you know what? Who cares that I look like the weird person? Like right now.
You have to say what we say. She's like, I used to be like the hot girl that like somebody would like double take, and now I'm the one that people are the guy. I see the firemen like looking at me like,
is this the new like
what's wrong with her?
Right.
Because she had her noise canceling, and my kids are talking to her, and I was like, she can't hear you.
Yeah.
She has the noise canceling headphones and her big glasses.
Yeah.
But you know what? You did what worked for you, and you listened to your body again.
And I got to be part of this amazing experience with your kids and you.
You didn't miss out on life.
I didn't miss out on life. But again, okay, yes, I'm recovering from a concussion, but you and just everybody else who's living their life can find little things to help them get through the day, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
We can all do that. And that's such great information.
Yeah, like right now, breathe.
Okay. So, see, she knows she knows me too well.
I watch your body language.
She does. She's like, breathe. I'm like, stop it. You're making me nervous. See, everybody needs a friend like this. Really, really. That's why I'm so happy she's here. So, one more thing I just want to tell you guys. So, we are doing holiday cocktails, so you better stay tuned in. Andrea's going to step off in 1 second after our next guest comes on. She's going to step off and prepare these really great cocktails with a healthy twist, and we'll kind of tell you the story behind them. So I want to start with my next guest. I want to welcome Nicole Johnson, whose fresh brewed life message is giving hope to the daily grind for thoughtful women, who are motivated but overextended. And I think we could all relate to that, right?
Yes, it's just as I was listening. I mean,
I hope I said the right things.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the beauty of it. So one of the things that I really like to remind women of, because we're really not great at taking care of ourselves.
No,
we aren't.
But every time I fly, the flight attendant says, what? If the cabin pressure drops below normal limits, the oxygen mask is going to fall, and what are you supposed to do?
Put the mask, your mask first before you put on.
Bingo.
Yeah,
exactly. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a film of what happens when there's no oxygen in the cabin. But people don't
I haven't.
They can't not breathe.
You're scaring me.
No, listen. They can't not breathe. They get loopy. Like if you're putting on lipstick, you might just draw all
Oh wait,
over
I
your
had that
face.
with my concussion.
Yes. Right. And the point being that we have to take care of ourselves first.
Yes.
In so many ways before we can take care of those around us. Because when we get loopy, we can't take care of anybody.
You know, she and I were talking about exactly that we've all heard that since we were children. Take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of everybody else. But like really, I don't think we all let that sit in our bodies and really understand what that means.
We don't know what it looks like in practical ways of what we do. But I'm going to get some noise canceling headphones. Because I want my kids to talk to me and I can't hear them. And I've never thought of that before.
My brain's hurting.
Exactly.
And your glasses.
It's amazing.
You can really block them out, right?
Yes. Mom has her headphones on.
I want to just mention this book. It's called Creating Calm in the Center of Crazy, which, oh my gosh, I need it desperately. Making room for your soul in an overcrowded life. I mean, that is one powerful title that every single woman 100% I think can relate to.
We all do. We need it.
I think we're taught not to take care of ourselves and take care of everybody else before ourselves, because I feel like that's such a common theme.
Yeah, and we're women. That's what we do. We take care of everybody around us. I mean, part of it is a gift, but if we don't know when to step back and put our own oxygen mask on first, then we get in trouble. But learning to do that, just like what you're talking about, learning to stop in the middle of the crazy and say, hang on, this is crazy, and I'm adding to it around me. I've got to stop and get my crazy out, and then I can bring calm to those
Now,
around.
how do you do that? Because I had to go through a traumatic brain injury before I really, truly learned what that meant.
You know, Andrea, in the book, I do share that it takes a crisis often to get us to that place, to remind us that we can, and that if we don't, it will be done for us. We have to. Sometimes we don't think we can stop. The culture tells us. Right, exactly.
The train has left the station.
Oh.
Like, how do you,
Yeah, if I stop, this
sign.
is going to fall, this isn't going to get done, until you get a concussion, and then you go, wait, hang on. Well, the world is still turning. It didn't fall off of its axis. And everybody else does learn to pick up. And then you realize how you might be over-functioning in your life and creating some of the crazy that you're trying to step back from.
All of it, overextending yourself, like everything.
It often takes a crisis. And you know, heart attacks are the #1 killer of women. Not because...
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that, you guys.
Yeah.
And we
not
have
breast
different
cancer.
signs than men.
But it's not because we have more heart attacks than men. It's because ours are fatal. Because we don't recognize the signs. Because we don't do anything about it. Because we go, okay, look, my arm is numb, but I still have to make lunches for the kids. I still have to drive to school.
It's true.
My chest is so tight, but I'm still going to have to show up for whatever it is. And we just keep going until we're on the floor. And then it's awful. And that's the point of that oxygen mask and taking care of ourselves. Like, what are our kids going to do if we're gone? So what is that hour a week or 10 minutes a day or whatever it is that we can do that says, hey, I do matter. I matter. And I want to be here for the long run.
You know, we were also mentioning on the drive when we were talking a lot on the drive.
Yeah.
Taking care of myself when I was in my 20s and 30s meant go and get my nails done.
It looks different, right?
Go get my nails done, take a bath,
yes,
right? and maybe read a book.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's this conversation.
Yes.
How can I be healthy? How can I not have aches and pains? How can I have energy for my family? How can I be in a great mood? How can I pay attention to my body? Like all of those things. So you have 3 keys, right, that we can maybe apply to our lives.
I want to hear this.
I call them sense and send and strike. So 3 S's.
Sense,
send,
and strike.
And strike.
So the first is sense where the crazy's coming from. Because sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's out there, but sometimes it's in here. We all have scripts from our childhood.
Got it.
Like the in-laws are coming, so it has to look a certain way. We have to get everybody in order. We have to come on, let's go.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's us, crazy. And then there are circumstances of the school play and the winter festival and who has to go where. So we get that. And so sense where the crazy's coming from is first, because you can't
becoming aware
of it.
Okay.
Second is send yourself to your room. Before you send anybody else to their room, send yourself to your room.
They'll love that.
Close the bathroom door, lock it, run the tub, and just reconnect with yourself, with that center of calm inside that has gotten all wonky because of all the circumstances or the crazy. And the last one is strike while the iron is cold. And that's a really big one, because if you've got a conflict going on during the holidays, it's so easy to just snap like that and go, well, if you hadn't said that, or if you didn't say it, you know, there's a comedian I love, Rita Rudner, who said, I know there was a problem when my husband said I do. I said, why did you say it like that? So it doesn't take much for us to go, you know, it's your tone. And you didn't do that right. And so before you know it, there's all this tension in the house. And so make a note of it, remember what happened, and then leave it until later when the energy is out of it and you're not in the moment, you're not trying to get out the door or you're not trying to get ready for a dinner party. Leave it and allow yourself to relax and know that you will come back to it later. And the next day say, honey, you know, when that happened between us, let's talk about it. And then you actually have time to talk about it, not when you're going, well, you should.
Right, well, that's
you are 100% right. And
So-
I actually, that exact scenario happened this morning. When I am about to start my cycle, TMI, which I just started, I'm pretty much a nightmare, right? And who gets the worst part of it is my husband, right? Or the three people that are closest to you.
Yeah.
So I guess the buildup of me sort of being agitated kind of came to a head last night and this morning.
Yeah.
And this morning when I'm walking out the door, I was asking him to put water in the dog's bowl really nicely. Like, babe, do you think you could put water for Toulouse in her bowl? And then he like snapped at me and I was like, I just said something really. He's like, it's your tone. I was like, I didn't even say anything. But you know what? I got in my car and I just drove off because I knew that was not the time.
Yes.
Not the time to have that discussion.
Done.
Woo! Doesn't happen often though.
No.
Because the other part of me, and I think most women, you want resolve.
Right.
Like that would happen. You're like, why did you talk to me that way? Like, why would you? And then it just
But
escalates.
like that's going to get resolved.
It doesn't.
In
No, it's
that
just going to make
moment.
it.
No, it's going to make it worse because then everybody starts hauling their junk out of the closet. You know, like, well, the time that you said, whenever, or when, you know, and then we never get back to the real
Sense
issue.
where it's coming from. What's the second one?
Send yourself to your room.
Send yourself
Don't
to
be
your
afraid
room.
to do that. Just go, kids, I got to take a little break. Or husband, you got this for a little bit. I need
to walk away from this.
I need to walk
now.
away from this right now.
Right now.
You know what? That does work because that's something that I have been doing. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I got to go.
Right.
And you really do. You just separate yourself from the whatever, and it does work.
And when you come back, it's better. And it works rather than trying to stick it out and stay in there. Now, I had a mom who liked to go in her room and slam the door and not come out. She was very moody. And I never knew as a little girl what that meant. So you have to narrate that for your kids. You have to go, Mom needs a little break.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed.
Mom needs a timeout.
I need a timeout. I'm sending myself to my room.
And they'll love that.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like,
I'm going to punish myself because I
Mommy's
was
going to her room.
really crabby this afternoon. I just need a little break.
Okay, I like that. I like giving them the narrative around what that means.
But you're also going to teach them how to deal with their own stuff.
Exactly.
To separate
You
themselves
model
from the
it,
situation.
And then they know when it gets crazy that you can step back. You have the freedom to go,
Wow, that's amazing.
So in those times of creating that, you know, and I'm looking at I'm already getting tense, I'm sure, as most people are, approaching the holidays and Christmas, and we're traveling, and we're being with the in-laws, and I'm in another space, and I want to send my groceries ahead of time. I mean, it's the concept. I haven't ordered the gifts, so why am I spending so much? I want to live. So how do you, of course, create that calm? Of course, we got that down. But then also to create, like, really lasting memories, right? You know, like really hone in on what's truly important during this time of year. I just feel like a lot of us, we might see in-laws and friends like once a year, once every 2 years or so, and I just feel like it's a lot of different components. Maybe it's a little bit too much on the cell phone. Maybe it's not being like super present, and instead of videoing, photographing the moments instead of just
being
really
in them.
Load the video later, or you know, load the pictures later, get off the phone. I find myself on the phone a lot with my kids. You know, after they get home from school. I don't like that. But this Christmas more than ever, it's really hit me, like, you know, simplifying life. And
I think
taking
that's a worthy goal.
Really creating those memories that my children can carry on, like for their lifetime.
First of all, memories are experiences. They're not ever things. And they're not even perfect experiences. So one, ask yourself this season, what am I trying to control that is out of my control?
That they won't have the groceries that I like at the house that I'm going to.
But that is within your control. But whether or not, you know, I could get all the groceries that my kids like, and they could still not want to eat anything because it came from a different grocery store than it's ever come from. So do your best, and then leave what you can't control. And then the second is, there was a great idea that I saw, I think it might have come from Brene Brown, and she has this basket at gatherings where it's like, it's optional to say, hey, if you'd like, just drop your cell phone in the door. By the door
that's great.
when you come in. So it's optional, but when everybody does it, then not everybody is out there on their phones. And it's just a reminder, you can go check it if you need to, but it's just not constant.
Yeah.
You know, buzzing, ringing, alerting you to this. I mean, we really live and die by bells and alerts and alarms these days. So the more we can sort of, you know, get out of that jarring, because most of the time, if I get an alert, you know, we get that surge of dopamine.
Of course.
And all of a sudden you can't look at it. And then if you don't know about it, it's a lot better. And when I pick up my phone and I realize, oh, my sister needs a chicken salad recipe, it's not that important.
Yeah.
I'm glad I missed that. But I could have been pulled out of something, an experience that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I was pulled into trying to find a chicken salad recipe.
Yeah.
So staying in the moment, distance yourself from your devices for short periods of time.
And you really are missing out. Like
You really are missing out, 100%.
Like even like yesterday in the delivery room, my favorite part is having this baby come out.
Yes, yes.
And the couple asked me to film it. The moment.
Oh, no.
And I'm telling you, it really takes you away because you're separated by this thing.
That's right. You become a spectator rather than a participant in it,
right?
Present in it.
That's
but
sad.
I think we have to go make cocktails because I think we should be present in those moments.
I mean, I could talk about this for hours.
Me too.
But obviously, you guys want this holiday cocktail. Okay,
Let's get the party
so why don't
started.
you guys? Thank you so much for that insight. Like I am so ready to create
Amazing.
calm in the crazy, and we can all do it, you guys. We really, really can.
really
It's a
can.
choice that we will make.
Yeah.
It
this
is.
season.
It's choices.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to send
right.
you off.
All right.
I am
We'll
going to
be back
bring
with
my
drinks.
next guest. Okay, I am super excited. It is time for my next guest to join us. It is Justin Sylvester. Good morning, he's not here. Justin is from my hometown of Louisiana. I absolutely adore him. He is a co-host of E's Daily Pop, a daily talk show that's fun, and it's all about. Why do you look so cute? I'm like taking you in and trying to like, give you an intro. And it's all about pop culture. And we have known each other.
Oh wow, are we gonna date ourselves?
We're gonna go through it because I really want everybody to understand our relationship. I do want to tell you guys, the whole crew today is from Louisiana, except for my soul sister Andrea.
That's crazy.
So it's you, Lindsey. I found out that Nicole is from Lafayette.
I just found out just
She
now.
went to Acadiana High School. I was like, you guys had the best cheerleading squad. And here we are in Hollywood in our cute little outfits.
Right.
On a set, in the biz.
Almost, I want to say I met you in 2002 for the first time.
Two?
So 16 years later.
We still started to look good, right?
We look great. We look better than we did before.
So wait, you have to tell me, Justin has had, first I'm going to say, he is my inspirational story for you guys today. And we're going to get to that in a bit, but we're going to break down a little bit our relationship. So 2002, I have emails. He and I were talking yesterday, and I was telling him about some emails I had. The first one I found was in like 2009, but maybe I had a different email. I don't know. Maybe there was like communication before that.
No, so we initially met.
Everything. He has the memory of an elephant.
I'm now 13, so whatever 14 years ago was. No, sorry, I was 14 when we met.
You were 14.
And I was working at this restaurant illegally, and I remember it was the first time I ever saw anyone wear juicy sweatsuits and Uggs.
Oh my God.
I'd only seen them in like Us Weekly or People Magazine, but you came in this pink juicy suit.
It was coral.
It was coral and these Uggs, and all her bridesmaids had the same thing on. And it was the most unbelievable thing I ever seen. I'd never seen a celebrity before, but everyone always spoke about Allie Landry, the pride of Borough Bridge.
The crawfish capital of the world.
Crawfish capital of the world.
I know there's a lot of people from Louisiana joining us right now, so they're going to get a kick out of this. Okay.
So for some reason, at 14 years old, I was ballsy enough to go up to her.
Honey,
and
you did.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, girl, you were working it, you were killing it. And from that moment, I knew that you and I's paths were not only going to cross, but we were going to walk on them together.
Can you believe it? And that's exactly what's happened. Since we met that time, I have emails from him. He was still in college in Louisiana saying, okay, I just have like a few weeks left of school. What am I going to do with my life? Am I going to move to LA? Am I going to move to New York? Am I going to move you were like all over the place, right?
No, it was divine intervention because at that point, our mutual friend had gotten married. was getting married, and we were both in the wedding.
Yes.
And we ran into each other again.
Meredith Moody.
Yes, loving you. And we reconnected, and you were like, you have to come to LA. You would love it there. And I'm like, you don't have to pull my leg twice. I'm thinking about LA or New York or DC. And, we were emailing back and forth. And then I remember getting this phone call. I had just graduated college, and you said, when are you thinking about moving out here? And I said, oh, probably this summer around May. And at this point it was January. And she goes, no, I think you should move here in the next week. And I said, oh my God, why? And she goes, no, you should move here in the next week. There's some things moving, and I have a girlfriend who's about to start a TV show, and she doesn't know that she needs somebody.
That's exactly right.
But I'm telling you right now, she is gonna need someone, and you are that person for her.
Okay, so let me just tell you guys, so this person that he's talking about is Kyle Richards. Okay, so Kyle, who's on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she had just got the show. She was about to start the show. She had not started taping yet. She had like a housekeeper. She had 4 girls. She didn't have extra help. She definitely didn't have like an assistant. But I knew because she had kind of taken time out of the business for a while. She was an actress growing up, but taking time out of the business to be a mom and to do her thing. But I was consistently working, and I knew it like takes a lot out of you to have the family, the work, everything. You're going to need some extra help. So I told her, listen, your life is about to get crazy. You have to hire someone. And she was like, no, I don't want to. I want to do it myself. I was like, the kids will be fine.
You'll be fine.
People don't know this about it. The kids will be fine. And I knew that you guys would be the perfect fit. And I remember when we had that lunch, remember?
Yes.
At it was
Shoe.
Beverly Glen.
Yes, at Shoe.
And Portia kept putting her
hand on my mouth.
Over Kyle's mouth, or like she didn't want y'all to talk. And then you walked out, and I had the emails afterwards saying like, I'm dying. Did you talk to her? And I was like, I called her, texted her, I haven't heard from her. But you guys ended up working together for years.
For 5 years. And let me tell you something about this one right here. When she wants something and she thinks that you need something, she is relentless in letting you know that you don't know what's good for your life, but let me tell you, you need to get here in 2 weeks.
Like now.
Can you imagine picking up, I've never lived anywhere else in my life. I've lived only in Louisiana. For me to pick up my life in 2 weeks and go somewhere, the unknown was so unreal to me at that point. So to just pick up my life and come to LA was a far fetch because no one from where we're from gets out.
That is one thing, like, and I know like there'll be a lot of people listening. Most people, and now it's maybe changed now that, we're in 2018. I have 3 kids, excuse me. It's changed maybe a little bit, but I remember growing up, no one leaves. You might go away for maybe, but probably not go away for college. But you stay there. No one really leaves.
People stay there because it's beautiful.
Louisiana.
It's a great place to raise your kids.
Amazing place to raise
your children. It looks something out of a storybook, and it's a really amazing place if you're that type of person. But there's that 1%. You, myself, Lindsey Dupuis, who you will meet in about 15 minutes.
We're all together here. You see, we've all found each other.
We've all really found each other. And that's because it's like this nest.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to come here and we're going to bring what we know of the South, which is hospitality, helping each other out, giving each other a hand, because we know that at some point that person's going to pay it forward.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think that's what we've kind of all instilled in one another, because you didn't know me that well.
I already felt like you were as soon as we like really connected, I was like, you're mine. Like we're like.
Oh no, we're doing it. We're doing it.
And that's how I felt a lot of people from Louisiana are. Like it's like you speak the same language. You're from that same water that's going through that bayou, runs through all of us, right?
Yes.
And we're like really connected immediately.
No,
like
for
you
sure.
find your tribe here. We have a big group of Louisiana people.
Huge
here
group.
That we connect.
And the funny part about it was, I was like, this woman's crazy. We've met at a restaurant when I was 14. We reconnected at another restaurant at 17. I met you again at 21. And here she is inviting me into her home to stay, to eat, to help me get this job, to help me get my feet on the ground. And I remember thinking, this is divine intervention. This is supposed to happen. These are the doors that are supposed to be open for me. And because in my life, nothing great ever happened. It was I always got the short end of the stick, and I'm so happy.
I don't know if I believe that.
Look.
Because all the person that I know has really just been excellent in every, no matter, I know you had a dream, right? You're a dreamer like I am, right?
For sure.
And you were one to like jump on an opportunity if it presented itself, like you moving to LA. I mean, you have jobs as assistant to Kyle, you were a waiter, you helped kids with, you were a Manny, right?
I was everything.
Helped kids with homework, you walked dogs.
Everything.
You did everything, and now you're on this show, you're producing shows, but in every single job that you've ever had, what I have noticed as an outsider looking at you is you have always been so present, so in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Never looking outside to the future, knowing that that is to come, right? And that will happen. But you were always very present, very like joyous and super positive, always. That's a very rare thing.
I think it's one of those things I learned at a very young age. People always talked in bridges. Like, you don't want to burn this bridge. You don't want to leave this bridge, tainted. And I always thought indoors. I want to walk through a door, I want to see a room, I want to be in a room, and when I walk out that door, I want to make sure that door is still open. And I think that comes from just...
Wait, we got to pause. That's like an Oprah aha moment. Like a break. Where did you get that from?
No, I had
Super
this
Soul
moment.
Sunday?
No, I should be on Super Soul Sunday. Oprah, you better call me.
But wait, not a bridge, bridge is always going to the next thing, but the door, to be in a room with the door and be present in that room.
In that room. And
I like that.
It's one of those things where I always say, why would you want to be only let in one part of the house when you can have so many parts of yourself exposed and out there and have so many, things that you can go back to. Mm-hmm. It's like when you hooked me up with Kyle, in my mind, I wasn't thinking, go in there and do the best job so you can, make it to the next step in this whole life. My thought process going in, to be completely honest, was, oh my God, this woman put her reputation on the line for me. I'm gonna go in there and do a great job. So not only will I make the money, but her reference will be still good. Her word will still be good. I never wanted to ruin that for you.
Oh my God.
And I think about that all the time. And I always knew that in my life, when I moved here, I was 22 years old. I'm going to be using this woman for a very long time.
and we still do.
We still do.
We still do have our powwow sessions.
Yes.
And we talk about what's going on in my career, what's going on in yours. We strategize and we,
It's monkeys in a barrel. I always told that to everyone. If I'm going up and I have a way to pull you above me, I will do that in 2 seconds. I don't believe in stepping on people because I know when I was down, you pulled me up for me to get to this place. And when I had a chance to repay that favor, you coming on, pushing your brands, pushing your events, I was so happy to do that and so proud to be able to say, this is the first of many times that we're going to do this for each other.
Well, I have to say, you guys, I actually announced Reshape for the very first time
on my show.
Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, that just came to my mind on the Daily Pop.
No, it's so crazy, right?
That's so cool.
It's the craziest thing. And, we do powwow a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the funny part about our powwows is that I always get the same thing out of you that I get every time. And it's so important because you always tell me to trust the journey.
Yes, it's the journey.
It's a journey.
But you're so good at enjoying the journey because a lot of people don't enjoy, they say it over and over, like whether it's your health, it's a journey, it's your life is a journey, your lessons that you're learning, it's all a journey of your growth, right?
For sure.
I feel like a lot of people, they always say that sometimes the journey is the best part, but a lot of times we don't even really take time to actually enjoy it. You do that.
I enjoy the journey.
What I want to understand is, I know how we grew up in the town that we grew up in, right? Very small town, not like super exposed. Nowadays it's more but when we were growing up, there's not like there was Facebook, there was no social media. I mean, there was Channel 10 News.
And that was it. There was maybe an AOL, page.
Maybe. But now, I want to understand, where did you get that from? Those qualities that you have, do you know, where that comes from? Is it your family? Is it was it a mentor? Did it just evolve? Or was it always innately in you since a child? Like, can you see those things in yourself since you were younger?
Yes.
You can.
I think when I was a kid, I learned at a very young age that I was raised by a single mother. My mother made less than $25,000 a year. She had 3 kids. She worked 2 jobs. So getting things that you wanted was not easy. You know, getting a new pair of jeans or getting to do this or getting to that was not easy. And I learned at a very young age that my mother was not afraid to tell me no. And she told me no more times than not. And I remember the moment I figured out that I could actually figure things out on my own, work for those things, and really kind of make my own destiny. And it was this strange feeling of knowing that even if you think something cannot happen, the first time you think something's impossible and you make that happen for yourself, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 40, you never forget that feeling.
Yeah.
Of being able to say, okay, I figured it out.
For me, that was winning Miss USA. That's what that was. That was a big moment.
That was a big moment.
Yeah.
But by the way, at the time, it probably felt like you were on top of the world.
100%. I never thought something like that could happen, but I kind of did.
But then when you got Eve,
yes.
What was that like?
That was amazing. And then every door was opening up in this business. But yes, keep going. Sorry.
No, and you wanted that moment over and over and over again.
Yeah, yes.
And I think for myself, I let that ambition and that feeling propel me to where I wanted to be. And growing up in South Louisiana, I had 2 strikes against me. I was black and I was gay, which in some parts of South Louisiana is not very easy. So you grow this tough skin and you know that the people that were rude to me and ruthless to me, I understood at a very young age that they were ignorant and it wasn't because of who I was.
It was their own issues. It had absolutely nothing to do with you.
Exactly. And I found that if you showed people who you truly were, if you showed people the heart behind the person, that they would have no choice but to like you and give you a chance. Yeah. And I really ran with that if people really knew who I was and they really saw me for the person that I truly am on the inside, that would be my saving grace. And it has been my saving grace in this town.
I mean, I see such a reflection of myself in you and you and me. Like it's that same thing, like cut from the same cloth. Like I get exactly what he's saying, and because of, you know, where we were raised and how we grew up and the way you talk is exactly the things that, you know, it's what I believe. I'm like, just want to tell you and tell everybody, I'm like so grateful to have you in my life.
Oh my God, and you too. And by the way,
I love you.
I would not be here today if it wasn't for you and your guidance and the way you walk through life. And I tell you this from time to time, you walk with your head held so high that I don't have any other choice but to walk behind you and walk in your footsteps.
Oh my gosh, well, I feel the same about you, and I'm like just so proud of you and your journey. And I just want to tell everybody there's so much more to come from him. He's producing 2 really, really big shows, although it takes like years to get a show. We always laugh. We're like, how's it going with the show? He's like, it's still going. But just like, I just know like great things are to come, and I'm really just so proud of you and how you walk through this world and life and how you really let your beautiful light shine, right? And I think that is a gift to people. So never take that for granted and just keep doing you.
Well, thank you for encouraging me this whole way from the age of 14 until 32. Aww. Can you believe we've been doing this for 18 years?
No.
And we were going to be doing this for 80 years?
I pulled a picture. We were in a hot tub for Alejandro's birthday party. And we were just 2 little fresh little chickens, like young and
going through life.
Enjoying life. You had just moved here. You had that nice curl going on.
I had nothing. I still had baby fat.
Now you're like
funniest part about this woman is that everyone always says, oh my gosh, she's so nice and she's so beautiful. She can't really be that way. I'm like, the saddest part is she is.
No.
Always. Even when you're going through something, even when something's not going your way, you've always been the same person and you've always been focused on the bigger picture and you never stray away from who you are and your morals. That's because you know what, I would do some crazy shit for some money, okay? I used to at least think about it. I'd be like, you know what, I'll do some crazy things for money. But I know that she would never approve of that, and she doesn't live her life that way.
I'm like the mama hen.
You're like the mama hen.
I really am.
And I get nervous. I get so scared for that phone call.
Oh yeah, We check in. Well, I love you and adore you, and I think it's time to like toast.
Please.
Like to have a holiday
Can we have a cocktail?
Bring it in, bring it in. Here's my girl.
By the way, I want to say I concur with all of that.
Okay, so let's just bring in the so this is my soul sister, by
This
the
is
way.
crazy. How are
We're
you?
including her.
Oh my God, thank
Louisiana group
you.
right here.
Honorary.
It's not very
With
easy.
Nicole.
Look, I'm from Lafayette. I went to Acadiana High School.
That's crazy.
I know.
You guys have the best cheerleading squad.
That's what I told her.
You know
That's
what
told her.
kills me is that you both you've been gone long enough. You say Louisiana instead of Louisiana, like we know it is.
Yeah. No, I
Did we
didn't say it.
You
Louisiana?
identified it.
I was like Louisiana.
We always said
Louisiana. I know. Like,
New
I
Orleans,
must have
right.
been saying it wrong this whole entire time. So let's just talk really quickly about these cocktails, and then I want to talk about this one right here. So Andrea's husband and dear friends of ours just bought a neighborhood bar. Okay, like in our neighborhood. So we thought it was very appropriate to do a holiday cocktail, but with a healthy twist.
Right.
So this is, I recently discovered the Moscow Mule, and I thought, how have I gone all my life without having a Moscow Mule?
Yeah.
So these are pomegranate, it's made with Palm Wonderful, and it's a pomegranate Moscow Mule with a little bit of mint, a little bit of ginger. And Andrea, tell us some of like the benefits of like the healthy components of our drink. We're gonna put the recipe, you guys, up on the site because I already have people. I did a video, somebody was already texting me for the recipe, so it's going to be up on Reshape. We're going to post it.
It's good.
So tell us some of the properties of like pomegranate. Like
So pomegranates are like antioxidants. They're great for your body, great for your skin, great for your brain. I mean, you want to eat antioxidants every single day, right? So check. The ginger right here is great for digestion, and ginger actually helps you because it's the holidays, right? You have all those fatty, well, not so healthy meals. But the ginger helps you digest your food and break down the fat.
Oh, wow.
Right? Who knew? And then the mint, again, helps with digestion. And if you chew it, gives you great breath because you might meet somebody and need to make out.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it's with my husband.
How is it?
This is really good.
Good?
So I have to tell you guys, my husband actually prepped the drink. I was so upset with him because he was late last night. He was supposed to be home at 6:30. He didn't get home till 8. I was ready for bed, and I made him like prep the mix. And then Andrea
Mixed it
and
up.
Nicole mixed it up back there.
Fabulous.
So it's really good, right?
This is great. Can you make it with
Great.
tequila or vodka?
It's made with vodka.
Oh wow, this is really good. So I'm losing weight by drinking this.
And you're doing some healthy things.
and then
for your
I'm
body.
And here, this is the calm, right?
This is the calm. Okay, so I want to talk about Lindsey, who's here now, another Louisiana girl. We're going to talk about holiday fashion. Now, Lindsey is from our town. I mean, can you believe it?
That we all come from this town.
It's the craziest
I
thing.
know, a small town. I know. You're basically one of us.
By the way, from when you were growing up in Brobridge, what was the one thing people said you have to be like when you grow up?
Allie Landry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we would play dress up, and my friend would be like, my cousin really, I was like, I'll be Allie, I'm going to be Miss USA. Yes. And you'll be Gina.
You never told me this.
Oh my God, and then Gina was the crawfish queen, so we were like, you'll be the crawfish queen, I'll be Miss USA.
You guys are making me like
That
hot
tells
and
you how
sweaty.
few
I
people really embarrassing me.
remember my uncle was in the hospital, and I remember being in a hospital in Lafayette, Louisiana, and every TV was literally on the Miss USA pageant.
Oh, yeah. I was at the ice skaters game, and you were announcing it. Yes, and they're like, Allie.
And everyone in the hospital was like silent, where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Miss USA, blah, 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 is, and you can hear a pin drop in the hospital. Everyone went crazy in this
I love
hospital.
hearing these stories because all I knew for myself, like I'm just competitive, like by nature, number one. So I like envisioned myself winning, but I didn't really care so much. I hate to break people's hearts about the whole thing of like Miss USA, right? I was more concerned because I knew like how much it would mean to our town.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Like, we were from a really
absolutely.
small town. Like it was going to be a big deal. Like I just know
Huge.
everybody was at like my aunt's house. Like Channel 10 was
Oh,
videoing
for
this,
sure.
and they went live.
We taped it. We would watch it back home and we'd be like, I know I'm Swiss vanilla, you know, and so
That's what I was excited about.
Okay, so did you bring the crown?
No, where is the crown? I want to know where the crown
Ross
is.
Matthews, last year when I was doing Hollywood Today Live, Ross made me have that crown flown from Louisiana.
Yes.
He was so upset that I didn't know where it was.
Right.
I was like, it's at my mom's house. I think it's in the attic somewhere. He said, fly that crown in. So I flew it in. He wore it for a whole show.
Amazing.
I want to wear it.
I want to wear it.
Pastor, all the producers wore it. They loved it. It was very exciting for them.
Speaking of holiday dressing, just throw on a crown if you really want to go for it.
The right bling.
And now her husband, we have so many like little parades, just like where we grew up, where I live is sort of like that now. There's so many parades, and they want me to be Miss Avignon's, the bar.
With the crown.
That's what they're trying to convince me.
We're gonna do it.
That's
I can make a
amazing.
few of these, and then
my
she'll do
gosh.
it.
She'll definitely do it.
Okay, so again, I couldn't think of somebody better to bring on to do holiday fashion than Lindsey Dupuis. And now Lindsey is like this big celebrity stylist. She dresses people like Sharon Stone, Brittany Snow, Nikki Reed,
Cat
like
Graham.
so many
for
more.
you.
And I am dying over this little number you have.
Thank you. You know, it's fun to like reimagine something like leopard into, you know, like a different, like modern
And then
take on
with
it.
this,
I love
it's
that.
kind of like
Yeah, it kind of adds the sporty kind of what's.
Yeah.
And I am athleisure took me a long time. I like dip my toe in lightly.
Athleisure.
It's kind of tough for me because I'm very much like a lady. So like I'll wear a dress and then I'll put a sneaker
Yeah,
on.
I
So
know
that's like
That's your sort of
extent.
athleisure.
Yeah, and so this gives me the little like
Yeah, the little
a little
edge.
modern. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Okay, so we have so many questions for you.
bring it on. But that's the best thing about trends. You don't have to. You could dip your toe in. Do what's right for you. You don't have to just kind of like immerse yourself because you don't want to ever feel like you're wearing a costume or putting something on that doesn't feel like you because your clothes introduce you before you get a chance to. So it should always be a version of you. You know.
Yeah. So what is your process? I'm sure everybody's curious when you're dressing someone for an event or Sharon Stone or whomever. Like, what's the process of finding like that right outfit, the right look?
Well, you
because we all have those events in our own life, right?
Yeah.
That we
Right.
wanna
Well, you
look
have
like
to
we're on the
really
carpet.
know your client, and so you have to really know yourself. You know, I never try to have my clients put on a show or put on something that doesn't feel like them because a lot of them wear their heart on their sleeve anyway. So they'll feel. I see photos when I know they're into it or I know they're not. So
right.
you just kind of, for me, I just get into their head. I know everyone that I dress has a very different style, which I love because I'm not trying to make anyone dress
One
like
style.
me. Yeah, or dress like so we incorporate trends, but I just kind of get to know them and make it a version of themselves and not like a costume either, you know.
Okay. So let's go through like what is a great trend this holiday season that we could sort of, like you said, dip our toe in
Right.
if we so please.
Well, I feel like big earrings are in right now. So
I
again,
remember I used to make my big earrings, like the stones and everything. That's why this ear is like halfway fall. You know, it's like the.
Chandelier.
Oh yes.
I worry about that
like-
too because I like these are a clip-on and they're just like
great.
a little bam. But I make sure there's like a post sometimes because I don't like the way I don't want anything to be too heavy. But they're a light option. Like this is a great take on a hoop. It has
love
like
that.
something a little bit different. And these are a bit of like a thicker hoop. Tory Burch makes these. These are a little girlier and more of like
Oh, that's
floral.
very
Very
pretty.
a little floral
I see
number.
all gold. Is that the?
I know.
the
I
moment?
kind of.
Is that the moment?
I guess I just went for gold. It is, and the '80s are really back right now. The '90s were really in fashion, and now like it's really about the '80s. So
That's why
just
I'm drinking.
That's
I
great.
survived once. I can't come back.
That's amazing. It's fun to see how everyone takes fashion like back
Yeah.
and what comes back and when it comes back. But yeah, so big earrings, but also everyone asks me like, what can they buy for holiday parties? And you don't need to walk out looking like a disco ball. You could incorporate it in different ways. Like we have a few things here.
I saw
Yes.
something shiny in there. I love shiny and sparkly.
I've been seeing a lot of. Do we want to grab these?
Here,
or we can just put them on the side.
I'm gonna
of the
take these.
I've been seeing a lot of sequins, like out and about. Is that?
Yes.
What's up? Oh, my
Well, these are
wow.
just if you want to wear your like favorite little black dress and just kind of jazz it up with something like then grab like a little metallic bag.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
pretty.
the cutest
Isn't that
little
fun?
thing?
And then it's like the fringe. It is a little wristlet.
I've never seen anything that you should.
That's amazing.
But what about
your outfit just completely.
Right? And she's actually wearing one of my other favorite trends, which I have. Well, wait, I'm skipping. Here, I'll take them both. These are velvet, and I'll still.
Okay, you guys will see in a second.
Oh.
These are little little velvet number.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is this really okay to wear?
Yes, and then
Why not?
Because wear a black
Girl.
This
I
dresses
have
up.
this shoe, but not with the stuff. Like, I didn't know. Like, is this
Yes.
like too? What
why?
is
This is
1970s?
amazing.
I know that's kind of like a 70s, but
I
it
have
kind of
a
has
shoe
that.
and a cat.
There you
Yeah,
go.
this is amazing.
Well, that's why if you're wearing,
It's really amazing.
you can take like a classic black suit that you have in your closet, then
So this
throw
is
on a
okay.
shoe. Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
But see with her velvet, exactly, and boom, there she is.
See, this show was really an intervention. For me, a style intervention.
Well,
this.
she came so prepared in her velvet jacket. These are velvet pants, a high-waisted pant you'll never go wrong with. And then,
Okay.
and say you have a velvet suit, then you can wear just the top like you're wearing the jacket, or just wear the pant and a blouse and throw on your little
Your
sparkly
shoes.
accessories, and then you can take those looks from the holidays into the new year.
Can we see these? Really?
know.
Oh,
quickly?
sure.
Yeah.
These
These
are
I'm dying
amazing.
over.
These are like, hey, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to wear a heel tonight,
That's all
but
you.
Yeah.
that's
That
a
is
party.
all you.
See?
Well, and that's
Alejandro,
nice.
are you watching?
I love this.
This is fun.
Let me ask you a question.
Stunning.
Yes.
You've been into fashion since you were a kid.
A baby.
Yeah.
Sewing with her grandmother.
So with a
That
grandmother.
really? I grew up. I knew what I wanted to do.
Knowing that there are girls out there who aren't fashionistas or who can't get a rodeo drive,
Yeah.
where are some good places with good price points that they can shop online?
Nice.
ASOS, which actually, which brings me to my next piece. ASOS is
ASOS.
great,
So ASOS
and it's
is
really
an
affordable.
online shop, really reasonable prices, and
Yes.
a great return policy. Like, right?
Yes.
You like buy a lot
And
and
that's-
just like
You can lay it. I could be
Okay.
here.
Oh, thanks. Well, that's what we'll come to this color, but that's what's great about shopping online. People don't realize that you can buy. I mean, I buy a bunch of stuff, I try it on, and then I return. Like Shopbop is great about that. ASOS, all these online shops. You don't have to be nervous. You can return after. They want you to try on and feel comfortable in the in your home. So
Yeah, that's
this is ASOS, and I just love a pop of color, and this mustard color is so great for right now.
mustard a lot. So
That's
that can
awesome.
be a dress, right?
Yes,
It is a
this,
dress.
yeah, it's a dress, or you could throw on leather legging like
Yeah.
yours, and just and
She can hold
take it
it
in. And then another high-waisted pant is just like something you should have in your capsule collection.
love.
You just can't, you'll never go wrong.
Yeah.
And they
Very
make you
classic.
feel good. They like, if it's Christmas and you know you're going to eat a lot. I know it sounds crazy to wear like a high-waisted pant, but they'll like suck you in and make you feel like good
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Make you feel yes, everybody take notes. So that's a great trend
Yes.
to kind of try this fall
Yeah.
is a high-waisted pant.
Yes.
I wear them a lot, and I feel like super like tall and long,
Absolutely.
and I just feel like comfortable, like
And
in a
make
pair
sure
of pants.
and put a big heel under it, because then your legs are just
Oh.
sky
So
high.
like what? I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's the whole
It's the whole thing. It's an illusion.
But that's how
She
you
needs more
create it.
leg.
Right, I know.
Austin has short legs and a long torso. Really?
So
I'm
that
telling you,
high-waisted
you do.
pant, that's for you.
Do you
I'm
really?
sorry,
I
too
know.
much information. I really do.
That does
I
not
really do.
seem-
Short legs, long torso, not fully balanced. But I know how to
I
dress
don't
myself.
think. Yeah, I'm not buying it though. I don't think you get to be Miss USA. with
Right.
Short legs.
Okay, let's see what else.
This is my last one, but my favorite.
Oh, I love that one.
This is my personal favorite. I like to feel like I'm in pajamas and I'm just comfortable for the holidays.
Yeah.
So you can wear this and then add in a little earring and just jazz it right up, and then you feel comfortable, but it's really it's a jumpsuit.
Right, like pajamas. No,
It looks like pajamas,
a
but
top and pants and a robe.
right, and then
It's a full romper.
it's basically a jumpsuit, and then this is you could put like a little bralette underneath, but this is a pajama, kind of like a pajama inspired look. So pajama dressing is my personal favorite.
I know,
Because you're comfortable,
right?
especially for Christmas and the holidays. You're sitting on the floor, you're unwrapping gifts, or
That's
playing
what
with
I
your
wanted to
kids.
ask you. Okay. So that day, right, Christmas Day, I don't know why I always do like sweater, some kind of, I don't know.
Right.
Like typical. I don't want to do that anymore.
You don't want to do that.
I want to do something exciting.
Here's an
this-
alternative.
And I love to be comfortable, and I also like a little bit of a tomboy kind of like element to my dressing.
I love that.
But feminine.
That's
Both
what
of
it is.
these, I love this.
Yeah.
And then you're just
Gorgeous.
super comfortable. You
So
don't
where
have to
can we
worry.
get something like this? This might be designer, so don't
This,
tell us. Give us an
this is
option.
Delphine, but if you go on ASOS or Shopbop, type in pajama dressing, you'll everything will pop up.
Pajama
We have
So
the
we'll all
Google
be in
is
our
a
pajama dressing on Christmas Day.
just add in a little sparkle and it'll dress it.
Shoe will we use?
I mean,
I'm gonna
there's
just wear
nothing
my
wrong with
pajamas.
this.
With like the velvet slipper.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
but you could wear a sneaker too.
Lovely.
It depends on the how elevated your Christmas is at your home. If it's
Okay.
So let's give a scenario. Let's say Allie wears the Delphine
Don't
moment.
make me the guinea pig.
No, let's make her the guinea
Okay,
pig.
fine.
Let's say Allie wants to wear the Delphine moment all day. She's gonna do the comfortable thing with the family, the more casual
So
thing,
sneakers
and then
during the
she's
day.
gonna go to a party, a formal party. How would she transition that from day to night?
Well, we would
bralette.
the bralette, exactly.
But not too much. I don't know if my husband will let me wear a bralette.
Actually, what you do during the day is you wear a
idea, it
tank,
sounds
wear a
great.
tank top underneath.
Oh, wow.
And during the day, and wear a sneaker. And then when it goes to night, get a bralette. So you have a little like peak of skin on the top and bottom, but
Okay.
it's not too much because you're
What about
totally
the
dressed.
fold? What about the fold that's right there?
It won't go down like that. It won't go down.
It won't go down.
Chopstick can make.
She said chopstick. I say safety pin.
Right. Yeah. I'm a stylist. So we do.
Oh, the drinks are working.
So yeah, and then throw on a heel, and this is very party appropriate. And pull your hair back and throw on a big earring. And so you could take it day to
Great.
night. You know,
That's great to hear.
Nice.
So what's a great, in your opinion, like right now would be a great like Christmas party look? Like, you know.
Christmas, like I was saying, I'd probably grab. I have a velvet jumpsuit. I would grab a velvet jumpsuit, incorporate velvet, and then put on a nice earring or a sparkly shoe. Here, I'll grab it.
No, it never really went out of style.
It really doesn't. It's so elegant.
That's gorgeous.
So long.
But this has so this is kind of like, and it's covered up, but it's not, you won't be too chilly.
That's beautiful.
And also, I love telling people, like, if you have a favorite black dress, I mean, this isn't the best example, but grab a black turtleneck or a sheer turtleneck, grab it on Amazon for like $6, and put it under like revamp your old little black dresses.
Okay, take note of that.
Ooh.
Black turtleneck or a sheer turtleneck
Yes.
to put underneath your little
Black dress.
Exactly.
So, that's so classic. I always like to say Sharon Stone wore Gap to the Academy Awards.
It's so true. It's so true.
That's
so
right.
It's so fun working with someone that has inspired
Yes,
such a
that
generation,
has
and she has
style, real
she has such
style.
real style, and
Yeah.
she just feels it. She knows when something's right.
Yeah.
I could see her look in the mirror and say, "Oh, that's what I need. That's what needs to be fixed or
Yeah.
zhuzhed." So it's
and then
it's
the
so cool.
confidence to just
So confident.
create a trend.
Confident is the best thing
Right,
to wear
exactly.
this holiday
Create a
season.
trend.
So
Yeah, that's
just
the best.
one more question. What is your like tip for all of us? Like just to give us a little thing like we could do every day or with our own wardrobe that could just make us look and feel great.
That's a good question.
Can I give my favorite life hack? Really
Yeah,
is when I'm like, putting on my pajamas or something, I take a second. If I know I have a big day the next day, I take a second to plan out what I'm wearing. And you don't realize, because in the morning you're so flustered and you're getting your kids ready or doing whatever, and you're just too busy to kind of take time for yourself. So when you have that minute, steal it and take it the night before so you're ready the next day. So it's just like, oh, I'm going to wear that. I'm done. And
then
go
you
out the
can
door.
finish it too, rather
Yes.
than just throwing it on and
Exactly.
feeling like you're going out.
And then you're not looking
Yeah,
at yourself
in a rush.
5 more
Right, in a
times to try and
rush.
figure out
It's
if you like.
right.
But yeah, exactly.
That's
So that's
excellent.
my favorite life hack.
So planning,
Plan.
just taking a little time to plan ahead.
It takes 2 seconds, and in the morning it'll take 15 minutes versus your 2 minutes that it'll take when
and
you're
then
getting
you have
ready.
to clean up after you threw everything on the floor that wasn't working. You
Exactly.
didn't have time to clean up.
Okay. Well, you guys, I mean,
Cheers! Yeah.
Cheers.
So
to the
good.
Louisiana crew and the Soul Sister.
Thanks.
Honorary Cajun.
I love Louisiana.
Welcome to Louisiana.
Do you have a gum on your shoe?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Not what to wear this holiday season.
Right, little touch.
Yes,
Right.
we just want to thank everybody
It looks like Rudolph's
who tuned in,
nose.
who joined us for the Facebook Live. We had a ball. We hope you did too. Everybody's going to post on their own platforms.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just so happy, and thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining our first Reshape Live Facebook
Right.
Live.
Yeah.
That's how you say it? Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays.
Happy
She's
holidays.
from Louisiana. She said, a gum.
It's right here.
You know yourself.